Hey guys, Studies for Chainbreakers Garden. Today we're doing a little bit of bed building. Earlier in the year when I planted this whole garden, I actually didn't physically build up a bed. I just kind of threw my tarp down and sort of built, just planted in the ground. So let's show you what we got going on. All right, so you can tell we begin to rolling up these Sunbelt Pro plastic. And this is of course a ground cover. It's a woven fabric. Pretty durable. It allows for moisture to penetrate, but it doesn't allow enough of it to where everything underneath it is still growing. So this pretty much is all dead because of the Sunbelt Pro fabric. It's fantastic. It saved me a lot of time and allowed me a lot of freedoms. But this is a no-no where I grew up. You're supposed to build an actual bed, and I think that's why our peppers didn't do all that well this year, is because it didn't. Well, I mean, they're growing beautiful now, but they should have caught up. They should have been bigger by now. So what I've done is kind of feeding the garden to itself. We're using all the beans that we grew, sunflowers, and some of the tomatoes. I'm not gonna do the eggplants because I've never composted eggplant plants before, and I do know that's a nightshade, so I don't want to take that risk. I let what we've got kind of turn brown, not be in such a hot phase. A hot phase would be these, where it's all green and that's extremely hot as it's decomposing. But as it's a little bit more brown, it's not as hard to decompose. And then I just threw all of our material on where we actually planted, because here, see how my hand kind of falls in the soil? Well, the plants that we've planted here have already started the process of opening the ground underneath it. And so I don't want to come through here and till this back up again. So this is a mixture of no-till and till, because technically I took my little electric tiller there. Works really good. And I tilled the walking road where I walked at, and I just took that and I tossed it over to build on top of that. Before I did that, I went through and I think I put down a little bit of bone meal, a great bit of bone meal went down. I probably got them through over the top with nitrogen in the form of, well, I probably won't, because this is a lot of nitrogen going back into the soil right here. So I may come back through with a little bit of feather meal over the top of it, but not too much. And just sort of toss it, and that's how we're building our bed. It's pretty simple, but it's hard work. It's a lot of, and look out, and it ain't straight. The road is not straight. That thing moving like the Nile. Look at it. You see it? Don't judge me. So let me sit down. I've been out here for a while. That's what we got going on there. We have not been making as many videos because I've been really trying to put a lot of effort and time in actually turning this into a farm, or at least trying to find the farm land. That's a big one, but I don't want to actually run into that just as of yet. But so what we've done is we've begun the process of doing a couple things. Chainbreakers Garden LLC is the thing. It's been a thing for quite some time now, but I feel like we had to do that just so we could look legit going into next year. I've gone ahead and when I start this thing, I always say, well, not when I start this thing, but when I label it, sometimes I put a hashtag underneath it under the title for gardening for beginners, and I don't actually tell you some of the things that gardening for beginners should do. And so one of the things is the extension office. I mentioned them quite a lot, but your extension office is the extension of a university within your state that handles your agricultural questions and needs. Here in the state of South Carolina, that's handled by the University of Clemson, and in the Low Country, that's handled by the South Carolina State. But I think Clemson pretty much handles all of the state. But you can definitely, if you want a little bit more hands-on, probably if you're in the Low Country, that's Dorchester, that's Charleston, what is that, that's Walterboro, and places like that. You probably want to reach out to them at South Carolina State and HBCU. And in the state of North Carolina, that's North Carolina A&T, probably the cum laude of all agricultural schools. Georgia, that's the University of Georgia. It's handled by them. Florida, I think it's handled by the University of Florida. And I think Texas is handled by Texas A&M. I'd imagine going through there, in between there, probably, I don't know. I don't want to tell you wrong, but I'll probably reach out to Tuskegee. I'll probably reach out to the University of Alabama. And I'll probably reach out to LSU if you're probably in those other states in between there. Behind you is the motive, right? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you can reach out. Why did I say that? I don't know. I'm on some cash money kind of stuff. But but that's before Lil Wayne looked like, that's not nice. But you reach out to your local extension office for any questions that you have regarding your plants, your farm, your garden, your soil. You can definitely get your soil tested at your local extension office. Each county probably has an office, but more than likely in some of the big rural states, it's probably handled by regions. So South Carolina is split up whether in the coastal and the Piedmont region. And I think a lot of other states are handled by that, and there'll be different zones too. So it's multiple variables of ways that you go about it. So we established LLC. I reached out to a website, SC Farm Link and NC Farm Link for us in the Carolinas. They did through that, and going through the extension office website for the University of Clemson, I was able to apply for some mentor programs for young farms and starting farms. Let's just put it like this: it is interesting to walk in a room and you be the only one in the room that you look like, right? And you could be woman, you could be Latina, you could be indigenous and native, and you could be African American, whatever you may be. And sometimes they can be a little bit intimidated. You could be kind of younger, and people really put you up. They may throw some shade at you. Sometimes you may feel like they're throwing shade at you sometimes because you're the youngest person in the room or something like that. I'm not the youngest person in the room anymore, I assure you. But don't be intimidated by it, man. These people are super friendly and super excited for you to be there and give it a shot. Especially if you're thinking about starting a farm. I want to turn this into an actual farm, so looking for land and all that stuff like that is further down the line. But first, there's some priority stuff that has to take place here. One of them is we're expanding the flock. I got barred rocks coming in 2 weeks, so we're expanding our layers, our egg layers, and all of our egg layers, of course, roam. They free range this little field that we have here, and do a really good job at it. So I think we'll be able to provide that. Reaching out with the university, reaching out to the Department of Agriculture on several other topics and questions as far as grants going for, if you're looking for grants for high tunnels, the Department of Agriculture does have them, and you just have to Google it. But some of the stipulations is they're gonna be in touch with a local agent, and you got to get your business plan in order. And so for us, I've started the business plan and got the mission statement and working on the vision statement and all that stuff. So that's one of the things you're gonna have to do in order to maybe get that grant. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty straightforward though. So that's where we've been at. Like, I haven't been making all that many videos just because, we got a lot of stuff that I have to try to kind of put into play, and that takes a little bit of time. This winter we're growing pretty much a lot of this will all be row cover. So it'll be radishes and Austrian winter peas and probably turnips. I'm going to use turnips as row covers. And out here we also do the collards, cabbage, lettuce. We'll try lettuce again, and I'll bring you into the grow room hopefully next episode, next video, and we'll do cabbage with lettuce, tomatoes, kale. We'll try carrots. Wish us luck. And I think that's about it. I'm not gonna overdo it. I really want to just get the row cover down get the new chicken coop set up for the additional for the birds. And I think I said I got barred rocks coming in, and that's pretty much it. And try to get everything set up for the next spring. We'll bring the bees in, and been looking for local honey boxes, for bee boxes. But man, the guy was like pricing these bee boxes out of hand. But that's about it. So that's where we are right now. LOC, logo, business plan, and then if you're looking for land for your farm, try leasing it first. I kind of figured that out. You probably want to lease that thing before you actually jump into it. You can look at Landwatch. You can check out your local ag. You can check out once again the local extension office from any university that you have that maybe want you to, and they'll kick you in the right direction. I assure you. You just got to be curious enough to kind of find all this stuff out. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. So we got a lot of bed building to do. I don't have actually that much time because I really need to get our row cover in pretty soon here. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget to follow us over there on the Instagram and check us out on TikTok. We've only got 3 videos, but if you like to see fruit in slow motion, you can check us out over there. And that's it. I thank you so much for watching. I thank you for your patience, and hopefully you're willing to help. Hopefully you're willing to grow with us as we grow here at Shane Burker's Garden. I'm in deep. I'm in too deep to get out. I love this. I love this with a passion, and hopefully we take this to an actual farm, on an actual farm scale, and hopefully you'll be there with us and watch us do it. Until we get it again some other time, guys, I pray the atmosphere that you're moving, that you're building, and that you're growing in is of nothing but God. I pray you and your family remain covered. My mother, my grandmother, my sister, my nephew have all recovered from COVID. My grandmother's in her 80s, 85, breast cancer survivor, aneurysm survivor. You can't tell me that the faith don't work. You can't tell me my God is not real. Until we get it again some other time, guys. Peace.